Do you think success is just a matter of luck? Do you believe that if you wait long enough, fortune will eventually smile on you? If so, you're lying to yourself. The world doesn't work that way. The people you admire, the ones you think got lucky, spent years preparing themselves to seize opportunities the moment they appeared. The Stoics don't rely on luck. They create it by controlling what they can, training themselves, and never letting circumstances dictate their fate. If you still think failure is the result of bad luck, stop right now. In this video, I'll show you how to leverage everything you have to turn yourself into someone who is truly lucky. Don't leave, because this truth might just change your life. If you feel the positive energy, don't forget to like this video and share a meaningful comment. Face the truth. Luck is not some divine gift falling from the sky. It is the result of preparation, discipline, and consistent action. Those who sit around complaining about bad luck are merely making excuses for their laziness and lack of responsibility. Meanwhile, those who appear lucky are the ones who have invested thousands of hours honing their skills, improving themselves, and positioning themselves where opportunities can find them. The Stoics understood this well. They did not rely on fate or randomness. They believed in only two things: what they could control and what they could not. The real question is not whether you are lucky, but whether you are ready to seize an opportunity when it arrives. Think of a champion athlete. When he wins a major tournament, people say he was lucky to have his best performance that day. But what is the reality? Behind that moment of glory are thousands of hours of practice, hundreds of failures, early mornings before sunrise, aching muscles, and unshakable discipline. Without meticulous preparation, no amount of luck would have helped him win. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Opportunities can arise at any moment, but if you are not ready, they will pass right in front of you without you even noticing. Those who believe in fate are the ones who love to blame their circumstances. "I'm not successful because I wasn't lucky." That is a lie. A Stoic would say, "I'm not successful yet because I haven't prepared well enough." This is the right mindset. Nothing is stopping you from becoming better, stronger, more disciplined, and these are exactly the things that create your so-called luck. Stop thinking that someone succeeded just because they were in the right place at the right time. You cannot control the randomness of life, but you can absolutely control how well you prepare for it. If you want more luck, start by becoming a better version of yourself every single day. Every failure you've experienced stems from one fatal mistake. You waste time worrying about things beyond your control instead of focusing on what you can actually do. This not only makes you powerless, but also robs you of the opportunity to truly change your life. The Stoics understood that the world operates by its own rules, indifferent to your emotions, desires, or complaints. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the key to making the most of luck. Control yourself, sharpen your skills, prepare as best as you can, and disregard the rest. You can't control the economy, but you can learn how to make money more effectively. You can't control whether someone plays dirty against you, but you can control how you respond. You can't control the fact that someone was born into wealth, but you can control how hard and how smart you work. Failures always cling to things they cannot change. They blame the government, the economy, social injustice, other people's luck, anything except themselves. But Stoics never do this. They channel their energy into mastering the only thing they can truly control: themselves. Imagine you're playing a game of cards. You don't get to choose the hand you're dealt, but you do get to decide how to play it. A skilled player never wastes time whining about bad cards. They find a way to maximize what they have. That is the difference between losers and winners. Stoics don't complain about the weather. They bring a raincoat. They don't lament adversity. They find a way to use it to their advantage. They don't sit around wishing for luck. They create opportunities by controlling everything they can. Once you realize that complaining is useless, you will become a different person. You will see that you have far more power than you ever imagined. No longer a victim, no longer passive, you become the one shaping your own destiny. And that's when you start getting lucky in ways that seem almost supernatural. Not because the universe suddenly favors you, but because you've stopped wasting energy on the meaningless and started focusing on what truly matters. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You take action instead of whining, and at that moment, luck stops being some distant force. It becomes a natural part of your life. There's a truth that few are willing to accept. Successful people are not those who have never failed, but those who have been knocked down countless times and still get back up. If you're not mentally prepared to face adversity, you will always be an outsider, watching others move forward while you remain stuck in place. The Stoics understood that nothing in life is guaranteed. They did not expect ease, fairness, or comfort. They focused solely on controlling their reactions to hardship. When things went wrong, they didn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they asked, "What can I learn from this?" This is the defining difference between losers and winners. Losers see obstacles as signs to quit. Winners see them as challenges to overcome. Look at the people you admire. Did they have an easy path? Not at all. Every successful entrepreneur has faced rejection, lost money, and been underestimated. Every elite athlete has suffered injuries, grueling training sessions, and heartbreaking defeats. If they had quit after their first failure, they would have never reached the top. But they kept going, not because they didn't feel pain, but because they understood that pain is part of the game. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The obstacle in the path becomes the path." This means that every difficulty you encounter is not a roadblock. It is the road itself. If you want to become stronger, you must endure adversity. If you want to become wiser, you must learn from failure. If you want to create opportunities, you must put yourself in difficult situations and find ways to adapt. Those who seem lucky are actually the ones who have failed repeatedly but refuse to give up. When opportunities arise, they are ready to seize them, while others are still sitting around complaining about the unfairness of life. If you want to create your own luck, stop looking for ways to avoid hardship. Step into adversity, face it head on, and treat it as part of the game, one that you are determined to win. Most people complain when they find themselves in difficult situations. They see obstacles and immediately give up, coming up with endless excuses to justify their weakness. But the Stoics are different. They understand that no situation is entirely disadvantageous. Only those who fail to utilize it make it so. Life doesn't care where you are or what you started with. You may have been born into poverty, into a family with no privileges, but that does not mean you cannot go far. The most successful people in the world did not always start in favorable conditions. Many were once broke, betrayed, or faced challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. But instead of complaining, they used those hardships to train themselves, to learn, and to find paths that others couldn't see. Seneca once said, "A ship that never sets sail cannot be called strong. A person who has never faced adversity cannot be called great." Everything that happens to you can become an advantage if you know how to use it. A terrible job can be an opportunity to develop patience and discipline. A business failure can teach you lessons that prevent bigger mistakes in the future. A betrayal can help you learn how to judge people more accurately. Stoics never allow themselves to fall into a victim mentality. They don't believe in blaming circumstances because they know that complaining changes nothing. Instead, they focus on extracting value even from the worst situations. When others see crisis, they see opportunity. When others are paralyzed by fear, they stand firm. If you want to create your own luck, learn to leverage every situation. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I use this?" If you adopt this mindset, you will never be defeated by circumstances. Instead, you will turn them into fuel to propel yourself further, stronger, and more successful than you ever thought possible. Modern society has made people impatient. Everyone wants instant success, immediate results, and immediate recognition. But what is the reality? The reality is that the most valuable things in life never come quickly. They require persistence, endurance, and a mindset prepared to go the distance, even when results don't appear right away. The Stoics understood that controlling outcomes is beyond their power. They cannot guarantee that every effort will be rewarded immediately, but they can control how they continue to take action every single day. They don't act with the expectation of instant success. They act because it is the right thing to do. Seneca once said, "Do not judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." Imagine you are training to build a strong, healthy body. If, after a week at the gym, you don't see results, would you quit? If you do, you will never achieve your goal. Success does not come from a single effort. It comes from repeated persistence, even when no visible change has occurred. This is why most people fail. They quit too soon. They expect quick results, and when they don't see them, they lose motivation and stop. The Stoics don't operate that way. They understand that if something is worth pursuing, it is worth persisting, no matter how long it takes. They train their minds to detach from results, focus on the process, and keep moving forward even when no reward is in sight. This doesn't mean they blindly keep doing the same thing without thinking, but rather that they don't let the absence of immediate results throw them off course. If you want to create your own luck, you must be persistent. You must keep taking action even when things don't seem to be going your way. Remember, the biggest opportunities often come to those who have prepared, developed their skills, and endured long enough to seize them. Those who quit early will never get that chance. If you want a life that others envy, be willing to persist in ways they cannot. If you want to take control of your destiny, take action every day without needing any guarantee of results. And if you can do that, you will realize that luck is not some distant concept. It is something you have created through your own relentless persistence. Most people only prepare for success. They dream of victory, praise, wealth, and status, but very few prepare for failure. And when failure inevitably comes, they crumble. They fall into despair, doubt themselves, and many never recover. This is why the Stoics approach life differently. They prepare for both outcomes. Epictetus once said, "Everything in life has two sides. One is what we desire, the other is what we do not. The wise prepare for both." This means that if you are truly serious about anything, you must accept the reality that you might not achieve it. You can pour in all your effort, passion, and time, and still fail. But if you've prepared for that possibility, it won't destroy you. Look at real warriors. Before stepping into battle, they don't just think about victory. They also consider the possibility of injury, loss, even death. And because they have accepted these possibilities, they are not caught off guard when bad situations arise. This is not pessimism, it's psychological preparation to avoid being paralyzed by shock and to respond correctly when necessary. If you want to pursue a major goal, prepare for both success and failure. If you start a business, don't just dream about profit, factor in months of losses. If you enter a relationship, don't just think about happiness, understand that one day it might end. If you want to achieve greatness, don't just envision moments of glory. Be ready for loneliness, being misunderstood, even being looked down upon. The Stoics do not fear failure because they refuse to be blindsided by it. They have already thought about it, calculated their response, and as a result, they are never completely defeated. They also do not let success blind them because they know nothing lasts forever. When success comes, they appreciate it, but do not become complacent. When failure comes, they accept it, but do not let it define them. You cannot control everything in life, but you can control how you respond to it. And if you prepare yourself for both paths, you will never be caught off guard. You won't be broken by failure, nor will you be deceived by success. You will remain clear-headed and always ready to move forward, no matter what lies ahead. And that is how you create the most sustainable form of luck. Weak people sit around waiting for luck. They hope for an opportunity, a miracle, some magical shift that will fix all their problems. But the Stoics know that waiting is useless. If you want to be lucky, you must take action. You must train yourself, be ready for adversity, and persist even when results aren't immediate. Luck does not come to those who sit still and complain. It comes to those who are prepared. When opportunity arises, those who are ready will seize it, while those who are unprepared will watch it pass by and call it fate. The truth is, you don't need to believe in fate. You only need to believe in yourself. Control what you can. Keep taking action, embrace challenges, and leverage every situation. When you do this, you won't need luck because you will be the one creating it. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.